The Hellfleet was a proud merchant clan known throughout the North Seas, until 3 of their closest allies turned on them in the midst of their midwinter festival. With less than 100 survivors, they hid on an island at the edge of the charted waters. Changing their name to the Howling Pine, they cut themselves off from the world that had conspired to destroy them before. Under the cautious eye of Arnhilder, a shield maiden renowned for her tactical mind and skill with an axe, they found peace once more. And yet, 20 years later, old wounds were reopened. Sold out by a merchant, the Howling Pine found themselves under assault by the Green Stags, a once minor clan who had taken the Hellfleet's place after their role in the betrayal. Through sheer will and luck, they managed to survive. But with their numbers even smaller, and their location known, they burn what remains of their settlement and load everything onto their longships. They search for a place they can build anew. It's a couple days' journey to get to this peninsula you're heading towards. So it's a lot of kind of taking shifts on the oars, eating where you can. You've got supplies stocked up for the journey and everything.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about running out of food or anything.
Roll for cannibalism.
Is there anything anybody would like to do while this trip is happening?
I don't have anything specific.
Okay.
It's, just mainly tending to... I probably would, if it was possible, is there any capacity to, jump on the other boats?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, while I'm on this boat, I'm just sort of...
I mean, you could try, but,
I just mean, do we have any convenient ways of,
Not really. There's no way to, safely dock with each other in the middle of the ocean. Yeah.
Then no.
Okay.
Can I walk up to Arnhilder?
Yes, you can.
So what is the plan for when we meet the other clans?
Well, we talk to them. I think first we try to figure out who is even there. For now, it is more about finding a safe place for us to be. And then we reach out from there. We figure out our, not plan of attack, but we figure out our course of action.
Do we feel like there's anybody who we need specifically to talk to these people besides yourself?
Not in particular. As I said, it's a lot we can address once we know the situation more.
Okay. Just let me know if you need anything.
Okay. Alright, so a couple days pass, and the rest of the journey is pretty easy. I guess you all can remove the strain that you took, because it's fairly calm from there on out. There's no storms or anything. After a couple days, you do see land over the horizon, about when you'd expect. You actually arrive a little bit sooner than you would think, going off of the chart, fellows. You're not sure if it is the chart's fault or if you guys just made better speed than you expected. But you get there about half a day sooner than you expected. So you've got this whole wide shore in front of you. Well, I shouldn't say whole wide shore. But you see a long coast. As you get closer and closer, it seems to stretch almost as far as you can see. This is a large landmass. Mm-hmm. You do see a little bit of shadow down along the coast to the east. You can't quite make out any details, but it definitely seems like there might be something there. Like there might be a settlement or something there with some fairly large buildings. But in front of you, you mostly see actually like a lot of rocks and stuff along the coast. There's a lot of bluffs, a lot of wharfs where the water is kind of like just crashing like hard into the rock. Sea spray is, filling the air. Is there any particular place you would try to look for to dock, Thelos? Arnhilder is going to defer to your judgment here.
No, is the goal right now just to dock to search the land more, or are we aiming to find the place right now where we want to start thinking about building our docks and
Mostly
putting down the roots?
Looking for a safe place to stop and kind of scout and get the lay of the land.
I say we head a little further away from them, not too far. We head up the rocks further. Might be to our benefit to try and get closer to some of the rocks if we can, just as a defensive precaution.
Okay. You turn the wheel to move a little bit more to the west. The rest of the ships follow suit. As you head that way for a bit, you find. As you're kind of going along, you see like a lot of harsh land, a lot of like some sandy beaches, but not very large. After heading maybe another half an hour, 45 minutes that way, you do come across these two like kind of bluffs that are large rocky crags kind of heading forward with a good stretch of maybe half a mile of sandy beach between them. So when you look there, it's basically like sort of like a small valley between two, like the rocks go up pretty hard on both sides.
I just point at it and gesture to Arnhilder.
Okay. You're able to move the ships into there pretty easily. The water's a little calmer around here. And as it docks, you kind of just have to run it aground more or less, like very lightly, just to make sure it stays in place. And drop anchor, people start disembarking, and everybody kind of gets off just to like stretch their legs and not be on a boat for a little bit. A couple people got sick on the way over just from not being used to being on boats. Is how it is. Nobody really sets up a camp necessarily, but people are kind of starting to look around a bit. Is there anything anybody would like to do?
Yeah. Can I take the guy who said he was good with agriculture? Take him up with livestock, rather. Like, just take him up, see some of the landscape around, depending on how far I have to go. I just kind of want to see how... I want to get up to less of the crags, like less of the actual wharf, and I want to get up into an area of like what we could actually expect the land to be.
From here, you can't tell quite how far to go. It looks like you can see like this stretch kind of going like another half a mile inland, and then the two crags, one kind of seems to like fold over it a bit, so there's like a bit of it seems like kind of a tunnel, and then the path kind of like snakes off through it. You can't quite tell how deep it goes, but it looks like there's like a hole there. All right.
I'd probably go through the hole. I'd probably, ask him to come. Again, I would want to. I guess I would try to speak about it first. I wouldn't just go into the hole without asking. There's always a danger of that. You happy now? So, yeah. I probably would bring it up with Arnhilda first and say...
Arnhilda decides to go with you.
Okay.
Does anybody else want to go on this kind of short little scouting mission?
So they just got a general area, or?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to check out the landscape. I wanted to see what's actually proper up there, not just this like rocky formations over here. I want to see what's down the way.
Yeah, I want to see like how easy access to
Well, because like
logs and trees we'll have. So I'm gonna head
that
west.
too. Okay.
Yeah, the ground here is mostly sand. You can tell that the water kind of runs in here, and
Yeah.
there's not a lot of like grass or life here. Like most of this area is just a beach.
Yeah.
And
it's not a bad dock. I mean, with the two crags forming into that's kind of like a funneling. It's nice, but don't want to dock somewhere that we're not going to have better access to, better resources.
Okay, so we've got Arnhilder, Einar, Thelos. Does anybody else want
I'll
to
go. I probably won't be much help, but my pride is hurt, so.
That one
Okay.
agriculture dude, that
Yeah.
one livestock dude.
Yeah.
I'd like to go exploring.
Okay.
This is the first new land I've been in.
Okay.
You're not gonna go?
All right. All right. So Vasilisa gets left to watch over everybody at the boats, just in case. So your party heads up kind of around the bend. You get to where where that crossover happens, and you see it's really not a tunnel so much as things get like just kind of a little tight here. It looks like it might just be the it might just be the years of kind of like being like on the ocean, like the way that the ground here has been worn down into sand. It's very possible that all of that is kind of eroded away a little, kind of punched through here, and so while you do have some rock over your head here, it really only goes for a couple 100 feet before it kind of comes out, and as you're moving through it, the sand does start getting a little firmer, and you start seeing like, okay, this is probably where the water breaks, and it doesn't make it much further. You start sloping up a little bit, and you come out to what seems just like a very open, grassy plain. Your face is so red right now.
Trying so hard not to laugh at.
It's just
hard not to laugh.
Ugh.
Just not.
It
I almost wanted to, I
into
almost said too.
It
I
just
almost
washed
said,
it
would you say that it's eroding the whole? It's making it looser. It's making the hole looser. Is
Let me
that-
just take a moment to breathe, because that was really hard to not laugh during that entire thing. Oh.
Ooh.
It also
As
started
you-
because I was laughing because Bridget's
as you
cup
get-
looked like Hell Doll when she lifted it up, and I realized it was Hello Dolly. So it started then. Sorry.
As you get to the end of this little tunnel, like as you get to the top of the hole, you notice there's this like there's a pretty firm rock there. It's like a little bump up at the edge of the hole. As we walk by Arnhilder like touches it lightly. She's like, "It's a nice rock." And they keep walking.
So she rubs the little
Just gently.
rock mound
Gently. Yeah, it's very...
like lovingly. Would you say how much attention would you say she gives the
Just a good
the
polish.
rock mound?
Just a
Right.
Just a nice gentle
Right.
polish.
Okay.
God, I'm so mature.
Now we gotta age restrict this. Now we gotta age restrict this podcast.
God, Jesus. So the ground is getting firmer below, like beneath
Yes,
us.
it's
like,
yeah.
but
When you get out through the tunnel, like it is now actual like kind of grassland. It looks to be sort of a plain out from here, and you see it kind of like going up into the rocks. There's not a whole lot of trees here. You do see when you look further south, you start seeing more like kind of shrubbery and trees growing. The grass is pretty full. It looks like it gets whatever moisture it needs.
it's also not already being used.
Yeah, you're not seeing any livestock grazing. However, you do catch like, oh, there's a rabbit running like
Right.
by over there. There's a couple birds in the sky if you search.
Well, that's good too. Signs of.
It looks like there's an ecosystem.
Yeah, it's like if we can have that at least, then we have something going for us. Fellows, if we need lumber, would you advise? I mean, it seems that we have this forest to the south. Do we perhaps look farther south, see if there's another potential port?
Depends. Because we need to know more of the area. If there is something like if we can find a.
You do see
if
some.
the coast ends up going to the. If that forest ends up going to the coast down there, we can just ship lumber. If there ends up being a river or at any point that runs from that forested area to us, we can bring lumber down that way. The problem is going to the lumber to build is very convenient to start, but being right by the source of it, there could be other people could be more likely to come across us.
You do see
as well
there's
as-
more tree cover to the south. Like the what looked like a port city to you is further east down the down the coast, like past all the rocks and everything. Yeah, when you look south in this grassland, you do start seeing like more variety of like shrub life and trees. You see some. They're a couple miles away, but like you do make out the shape of trees. And you're like, okay, so there are trees further south.
Well, I mean, I am all for us making sure that we have more of a handle on where we are before we make too many decisions.
It's worth checking out. I'd
Yeah.
like to go to visit the forest land. In terms of a place,
I
by
agree.
nature of business, we should be near shore.
Mhm.
But if we wanted to, there's options. We could build encampments near the forest to either bring lumber to port base, or we could build a base near the forest and have it disconnected from the port. Makes it easier to defend the main base, but harder or slower to get news if something comes to the port. So benefits on both sides.
Then yeah, let's make our way south. Let's see if there's anything along that route that helps us. Right, like you said, a good river would do us well. Fresh water and potential stream for fishing, maybe.
Okay. As you head there, as you approach the site, you're like, okay, here's some bushes here. Here's some denser.
Are any of these bushes like things that are, helpful in terms of like
There's some
medicinal?
There's some
or-
berries that are like you recognize a couple things like, okay, like I can crush that up and use that for something. You see somewhere it's like, a leaf from here or there. If you squeeze it, like there's like a little liquid that'll come out, that sort of thing. You're seeing like a pretty healthy variety.
Okay.
And as you head further south, you start passing a couple trees. There's a mixture of pine trees and deciduous. At this point, the pine trees tend to be standing more alone, and as you head further south, it starts becoming more and more deciduous. After you head a mile or two, it starts clustering a bit more, and it starts feeling a bit more like okay, looks like this might turn into a forest at some point.
To Thelos's point, do we have any signs of any sort of stream or river passing close to here?
Does anybody have a background when it comes to hunting or when it comes to anything of that nature?
No. All I have is intellect and lore.
Okay.
I got one in tactics, but that's about it.
You.
I do have like force. I do have survival, but like.
You could try rolling survival if you wanted to look for signs and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to make sure that we're making things that are valuable.
Okay.
So 20 altogether.
20? Okay. You gain 2 grit, and you notice that with a lot of these shrubs, it looks like they've been, as you're getting closer into to the woods, a lot of them have been nibbled on. Leaves have been bitten off or stripped. And you're starting to get it's like a thing where you're like, okay, like you've seen this before when you've gone out gathering. It's like, okay, there's some deer around here, or elk, or something of that nature, which stands to reason that if they're living here,
There's going to be
there has to be some source
there's
of
some
fresh
source
water.
of water. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. You said I gained 2 grit.
you get 2 grit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you succeeded by.
Right.
A bit.
I'm just trying to write that correctly.
So you should be at 4 now.
Should be at 4.
Yeah, everybody starts when we start sessions. We start with 2 grit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the general gist of that.
All right. Yeah. Then I say to Delos and the rest of us that are with us, Arnhilder and the rest. Well, from these signs, it's a good reasoning that this might be a nice location. Maybe we go slightly a little bit more inland, and I think we should also check the shoreline, make sure that this is a place that we can actually dock, but it seems like we will have good source of lumber, good source of food, water.
Is there you're the herdsman?
Yeah.
You've worked with animals?
The livestock guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see any signs of like
Janice.
any? Huh?
His name is Janice.
Janice?
Yeah.
Janice.
From
See any
Buckingham.
signs of wild herd animals? Any wild sheep, things like that? We have no herds of our own, but it would be useful to try and start such a thing. Do you see any signs that such a thing roams around here?
Well, the ground near where we were looked fairly ungrazed. But if it's not being... It could just be that they just are not here right now.
Yeah, maybe perhaps it's one of our things that we start with when we talk to our other clans that we are supposed to meet. Perhaps we ask for some sheep, some sort of trade. We buy some and start.
Hold. Arnhilder just kind of like puts an arm out, and after a few minutes, or after a couple seconds, you realize that you're hearing a rustling around you. Not quite sure where it's coming from yet. Would anybody like to do anything?
I'd like to use my awareness to pinpoint a little bit more if there's anything particularly close. Can I see anything in the trees? See, catch a limb.
Go
of
ahead
someone?
go ahead and roll awareness.
Right, let's see. So that is an 18.
18. Okay, you gain 1 grit.
Thank you.
And you pretty sure you hear it. You're able to tell there's it's coming from like one particular bush about 30-40 feet away.
I'm gonna kind of go like, and like sort of, I have a hand axe, so I'm going to draw my hand axe and sort of start moving towards the bush in a sort of not stealthy, because I guess there's a mechanic, but not stealthily, just like sort of slowly moving that way, being like, this bush is suspicious.
Okay. Does anybody else want to make an approach?
Yeah, I'll grab my shields and try and creep behind.
I forgot your double wielding shields.
I stick next to the Jarl.
Okay.
Kind of just focusing on what they're doing though, and looking on to it though.
At this point, as you approach with your hand axe drawn, you hear a small twang, and an arrow comes out from behind the bushes.
Can I try to dodge it?
Yeah. How would you like to handle this situation?
I'd like to hit the deck. I guess I just hit flat,
So I think that would be an agility, probably.
Probably. Good thing I had an extra skill point in there today.
Either agility or... No, it'd be agility, not dexterity. So you're using your whole body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
Ooh, that's a natural 20. That's a 24 to hit the deck.
All right, excellent. How do you hit the deck? What makes it so epic?
I hear the twang, and I just do that thing with that like people do with really good upper body strength, where they can just sort of like fall and catch themselves, like in a
Tom Cruise Mission Impossible thing.
Yeah, just like a poof. Yeah, just like really good, and I want to like look and see if I can see feet underneath the bush while I'm doing it.
You see
Is that
a little
thing
bit
that I
of
can do?
You see a little bit of skittering, and as the arrow kind of heads overhead, you guys notice it just sort of, it doesn't really get that much air under it, and it's kind of like hits the ground and like flops over, and it looks like a pretty shoddily made arrow. And you see some feet moving, and you hear some hushed voices and a lot of rustling. It sounds like they start. It sounds like they're trying to like kind of run away. And you do see like a little bit of figures. You can't get a clear sight through the brush right now. Yeah.
Okay.
You should come out.
Yeah, as you can see, we are new here, and as you can also see, I'm carrying 2 shields, not a weapon. I'm not here to harm you. We are new to this land. We may be intruding. If we are, maybe a conversation could clear some things up.
Yes.
Can I help them out by singing the little welcome song that I just made up?
Sure.
From the prone.
Yeah. From
Well,
prone.
can I guess, yeah, I guess I just flip over on my back.
Sure. Miles,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll influence.
Hello.
That's something I have anything in? Not much. Alright. How's an 11 treat you?
Just enough. You don't gain any grip, but you don't take any strain. Uh, the skittering kind of stops for a bit, and it's a little quiet, and then you just hear like a voice call out. You hear, "You're not with the fallen oak."
We are not. I'm gonna gesture to my shield. It's got an array of a few pine trees carved in it. As you can see, these are not oak trees on my shield.
You hear
What kind of tree is that?
You hear a second voice like,
Is that an elm?
Are you sure it's not an oak tree? I know.
Oak have broad leaves. These are softwood needles.
Yeah, look, you got it. You just like hear like a little, just like a little bit of arguing, and then, two small people step forward. They look roughly around like it's like a 12-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl, kind of step forward, both holding bows. Really shoddy makeshift bows, but bows. They just kind of like look you up and down, and yeah, and one says, "So, do you know the fallen oak?"
I am unfamiliar. As I said, we are new to this area.
You are not unfamiliar.
Oh,
The fallen oak was one of the three clans from back then,
okay. So it
Yeah.
was them, the stags, and the
Dread Eagle. Yeah.
dread eagle.
Yes.
I am familiar. I was once at least, but they are no friends of mine.
Of ours.
He kind of like looks you up. Did you bring any weapons outside of the axe? Well, I guess he sees that you have weapons.
Yes,
Um,
there are some with us with weapons. As you see, I am not one, but there are weapons among us.
The girl steps forward. She says, "So why are you here?"
We are.
I kind of like gesture to Arnhilder.
Arnhilder steps forward. Yeah, Arnhilder steps forward. She says, "I don't know if your parents told you anything. We were with the Hell Fleet. We are... If we have enemies, the Fallen Oak, they are our enemies. Are you saying they are here?" The girl responds, "About 2 days ago, the Fallen Oak, they showed up. We have a small village. They came in. They put under siege. They take our things. We were out trapping when it happened, and we come back, and they're related. Come on. And we come back, and you see everything happening. They're still there. I don't think they've hurt anybody, but they're asking a lot of questions."
What kind of questions?
They want to know about our trade, where we're sending things. A lot about. They're asking us a lot about Skapta. I don't know. We only overhear a little bit. We sneak in at night sometimes to try and see, but we haven't been able to do anything yet.
How many of the oak are in your village?
I've counted 11. There's one who bosses them around, and the rest. They don't look all that big, or strong, but we're not warriors. We're not fighters. We're hunters, trappers, and there are only some of us. They come in, they take a hostage, and I think the whole town just wanted to make sure nobody got hurt.
Would you like to come back to our camps, little ones? We promise we won't hurt you, and if anything, you might find help there. Like we said, we have weapons.
We can't.
We barely have our own camp.
True, but we can't leave them out in the woods.
I mean, we know the woods. This is where we live. It's not far. But
Is there anyone?
yes.
Is there anyone from your village of importance that we might talk to somehow? Could they come out at night to meet us, or?
Nobody there is able to get out.
I see.
Most have been, from what I can tell, most have been locked up. You say you have a camp nearby?
The startings of one.
We just got here. Literally.
Can you help us?
We can try.
Were you gonna say something, Justin?
Can I choose in character. I'm gonna get down on my knees and like put my hand out and then put my weapon on the ground and extend my hand forward and say, can I see your hands for 1 second? I promise I won't hurt you. I just want to be able to tell you if I can help you.
She steps forward and gives you her hand. It just takes like a slight hesitation, but she seems
I'm gonna do a palm reading of her to see like if she is like if her lifeline is like coming to an end. Regardless, I'm gonna tell her it's gonna be okay. So like I'm not gonna be like you're gonna die. But I wanna like try to boost morale, but also get insight into what's happening for her.
Okay. Let's see. With this, I mean, what you're doing is a pretty physical thing, so you might not really need to roll for fortune telling, but if you're trying to calm her, let's go with...
I'm doing a palm reading.
You said if you're trying to like calm her, build morale.
Yeah.
What's meaning by that?
I mean, I'm trying to do both.
I'm
going to
gonna
gather
give
the
you-
information, but then I want to also,
I'm gonna give
no
you
matter what, say positive.
I'm gonna give you the information no matter what. Like, you don't have to roll for that, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to have you roll for calming her, basically. So let's go... Yeah, let's do influence.
That's unfortunate. Okay.
You're not bad in influence. 5 is not bad.
It is when you only roll 14.
It's not bad. You gain 2 grit, and what you see, her lifeline, she's got a very long lifeline. Which might make it a bit easier. Since you're not having to lie about it. What do you say to
that I'm going to mention that I see a long lifeline, and that I see I don't want to lie too much, but that I see like a prosperous future for her, and that she will meet some strangers who are going to help her, and that she should trust them.
It's a little on the nose, but she believes it. It's you passed. So okay. She says, we've been watching them for the last 2 days. During the day, they're all over the square. They're going through things. They're eating our supplies. They're laughing. At night, they only have a handful of people who stay awake and watch. Can we do something tonight? Arnhilder. Oh. Arnhilder takes the initiative here. She says, "We can do this. But first, let's get you two back, and let's make sure you're fed. Let's make sure you're taken care of." She says, "Oh, there's not two." And she kind of like whistles a little bit, and like 3 other kids come out who look like a bit younger. Like some of them are like it's like 8, 10, 7. What? They come out and join them.
The kobold babies, but people.
Yeah. Does
Also known as babies.
Just
also
regular
known as
babies.
babies. They're like kobold babies.
If you
So
don't mind me
babies.
asking,
Like fleshier.
what is your clan?
We're with the we're while we have our own settlement here, we really just we hunt and we trap and we go take the stuff to a port city close by, to Skapta. It's a town run by the White Hawks. So we are in the White Hawks. But yes. She also says, she also introduces them. She says that she's Holma, and the 12-year-old boy that was with her, that like came out, was Strom. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything they would like to do, or shall we head back?
We saw some shadows west of here, east. It was east, right? East of here. Was this the White Hawk?
It sounds like
Skepta.
It sounds like Skapta. It's a few hours walk from here. We came out this far because this area is good for. It's easier to find things to hunt and to trap here than close to the city. So. Is that everything?
That's all I need for now.
Okay.
I look to the mess of children and any of you hurt?
They're all fine. They might have like a couple like bumps or scrapes from like walking through the woods, but nobody seems to have taken any actual like nothing that like a kid wouldn't get from just running around and playing rough and stuff. All right.
On the route back, I probably try to grab the ear of Arnhilder as we're walking back.
Okay. What would you like to say?
I am wondering if it is smart to enter in such aggression as soon as we land.
Well, If we do it right, there will be nobody left to tell them what happened. And even if that were the case, I think we have more to gain by finding out why they are here and how many of them are here than by staying in the dark about it. And if we're trying to make alliances, getting on the good side of the White Hawks may not be such a bad idea.
This is all true. Just, I wonder if we should even bring up hell fleets anymore. My question is.
I do not necessarily want to go back to all of the practices we once had, but for the purposes of gaining trust, this may be one of the better ways.
Okay. I don't have that big of a stock.
I acknowledge your concern. I hear you. But
I don't bring it up to be difficult or to question you. Not yet, anyway. But thank you for listening.
of course,
We will get this done and we will protect these people. I agree with that. I think that is exactly what we should be doing.
I'm glad to hear it. Well,
And that's all I really ask for.
alright, perfect. You guys make your way back. A couple people. Yes, Brickhill?
Can I take a quick moment? I don't know if I had the right skills for this, but try to get put my hand kind of. Essentially, I'm trying to do what you kind of do with divine sense kind of situation, but see if there's if the land feels like it is godless, if it's if if there's a curse or something along those lines. Trying to get an inside check on the land, essentially.
Sure. You don't have to roll for that. It feels healthy. It feels very natural. You're not sensing any kind of curse or bad omens. It just feels like nature, and it feels more alive, honestly, than the island that you grew up on. In that sense, it's where you came from was much more barren. That's what I would say.
And do I get a sense of hell being here, or is there is this an area you know what I'm trying, it's not a place she wouldn't be?
Not in particular. The thing with hell is it's more of a thing where she waits in the afterlife, as opposed to exerting influence over the world that you walk in. Generally speaking, when you feel a connection to her, it feels more like it's a thing that you reach out for, as opposed to a thing that you exist in and feel around you, I suppose.
I guess that's kind of what I was trying. Yeah, that was kind of what I was trying to do, I guess.
Yeah, you don't really feel hell here. It feels like when you do feel that connection to hell, it feels more like a thing that you have to reach out to and grab, and it's because from your understanding, she's not in this life. She's in the afterlife. And she waits there.
Yeah, okay. It kind of answered my question, but kind of didn't. But that's cool. I think I understand.
Okay. All right. You arrive back at the ships, and people are the kids are kind of playing in the sand for the most part. People have been waiting for you to get back, and they've taken a couple things off. Like they've been eating. They've started a small fire to like cook some things, and it looks pretty calm as everybody gets back. Arnhilder, you see, starts going around and talking to other people. A lot of the older people, a lot of the soldiers, kind of talking about the situation. These kids start playing with the new kids, and you get fed, and just kind of life starts going on. Is there anything anybody would like to do? Arnhilder is basically going around and starting to like recruit a party, more or less.
I want to walk up to the little girl with the bow. Hi.
Hello.
I see you have a bow. Can I look at it for a second?
Can I look at yours?
Yeah.
Okay, she trades you.
Alright.
She runs away.
Do you mind if I make this a little stronger for you?
She's looking at yours. She's like, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna like make sure the bow is, you know, secure. The string on the end of the bow is like pulled taut enough so that it gives her enough,
Okay.
you know, for her arrows.
I'm gonna say that's gonna be either a craft or a dexterity check.
Ooh, well, I'm not good at crafting.
You can use your path as a tracker to make it a bit easier, just because you are familiar with bows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say be one of those to try and improve the string.
I guess I'll go with crafting, because I guess that technically is more of what it is.
Sure.
So 13.
13? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you notice, like, it definitely seems like something that was, like, put together very haphazardly. So you just kind of... You understand better how to, you know, you start it here, you make it tight and taut here, and then how to then wrap the other end securely. It doesn't take you very long, and you hand it back to her, and you notice her start struggling with kind of... She starts trying to test it out, and you notice it's like a lot harder for her to like pull it back now. And you're like, oh, that's probably why they kept him kind of loose for the kids. Oh well. It'll take some getting used to. But yeah. Arnhilder kind of comes forward and calls out, just sort of a, "Excuse me, can we come together, please?" So, it's come to our attention, I'm sure most of you have heard by now, word gets around. The Fallen Oak are here. At least they have a detachment here. Not very many. They've, well, it seems like them. It appears that they have occupied a small hunting settlement and are just kind of sitting there and taking their things. Now, I, for one, would like to know why they are here. I would also like them to not be here any longer. And also, Strom and Holma have told us, They are not treating the people there too kindly. So, I would like to take just a couple of us to sneak there tonight. Apparently they are very lax on guard. And just sort of relieve these people of their problems. We'll need to be stealthy. If you're good with a bow, we could use you. It should be over fast. So, if you would like to come, just let me know. And that's all she starts. You see her start inspecting the equipment at this point. Would anybody like to do anything?
I'll let her know I'm going with her.
Okay.
Me too. I volunteer as tribute.
Okay.
Any of the equipment needs to be double checked. If you need anything made before you head out, let me know. But a small group fighting is not my strong suit. So.
Please understand.
Yeah. We need to be prepared for exit. I can't. Part of me wishes to go, just in case you find someone who needs help, but
It is not far. If we need to bring them back, we can.
I'll stay here. We'll start, Ellis and I will start, getting the people together or just getting things together, making sure that when we decide where we will stay, we're ready to move. So those the other 5 dudes that we took on that I didn't get, like, I'm a crafter, I'm an agriculture person. It's like,
Yeah.
I say to any of them, it's like, if any of you feel as though you can prove something with this might actually be a good attempt. This might be a good time to. Any of the 5 of you particularly stealthy, clandestine, as it were.
2 of them step forward, and it takes you a while to notice. Because of how stealthy they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Alright.
As I would, she will take whoever she wants, but make no mistake again. Please, do not be stupid. And I keep going about my work. I guess I'm also just gonna try to, like, get prepared for the potential of any wounded, any sick.
Set up a kind of med bay
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm gonna set it up on the big ship, on our big main ship, so that way it can be, if necessary, we can. I don't know. I don't want to set up too much and then us be like, yeah, we're gonna move south. I wouldn't want to move people too much, so I would rather just start somewhere that's already mobile and then move them once.
Fair.
So I'm gonna start setting up some things on the boat.
Okay.
I think the only person who hasn't said is Brunhilde, right?
Chelsea and Bridget, we both haven't heard from you.
no. Bridget said she was
No,
going
I'm
to go
going.
with.
Oh,
she
you're going?
volunteered.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Um,
Berghild.
yes.
I'm just torn.
You see Adolphus volunteer.
I go.
Do you
I'll be able to
see?
see though, but I'm gonna go.
You sense.
You hear him. You hear him volunteer.
You hear his arm go
Well,
up.
I see a blur
that's
of
Adolphus's
him.
arm.
I'm not fully blind yet, but I am nervous about fighting in the dark.
Well, I mean,
But-
it's not
That puts you on even footing with
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if that puts
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. You can do the whole daredevil thing.
That's not.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Worst case
If my
scenario,
brother,
set some
my
shit on
dumb
fire.
brother, gotta go. Dumb.
My dumb brother.
Dumb brother.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
That's what they call when you milk a male cow.
No.
brothers.
No.
Brothers.
Yeah, alright.
It's just a quiet cow.
Okay. It's only a couple more hours before night begins to fall, and Strom and Holma start leading the way back to their village. The rest of the children stay behind. They're just like, you guys just wait here.
Yeah. It's
Go take care
smarter.
of it.
It's smarter to keep
Zeus,
them.
Rosa, Amelia, stay.
Webster.
No, there's only 3. And it takes you head into that forest, and you go for maybe another half hour past where you had gone before. And you start seeing like a hole in the canopy, basically. And you see this pretty small village, like 7 buildings, most of them clearly like loft houses. You see one that's like a storage house. There's a fire in the center of the town, just kind of like lighting the place a bit, just so people have vision. And you see, from your spot, well, yeah, just that's it. Like as you approach it, you see the outline of some buildings. There's clearly a fire. How would you guys like to approach this?
Is there anyone like patrolling the square?
As you look, every couple minutes you see somebody kind of like step forward and sort of like look around and sigh, stretches a bit, like he's not happy about being on night watch. You just see him kind of turn back and head back. Another like minute later, you'll see like another guy kind of come out, and looks like there's like 2 guys sort of just walking around. It's a very small space, so they don't really have very far to go. But yeah, they're kind of walking from one end of the buildings to the other. It's mostly like a round plaza sort of thing, but it's a bit longer one way, so it's like an oval, I guess. But yeah, they're just sort of walking back and forth past that fire.
I can shoot them if you want.
We need to make sure that none of them alert the others. If one goes down, the other one needs to go down before he says something about it. Let's see.
What about
that
the 2
one
stealth boys?
Was that?
I was like, I volunteer one of the stealth boys.
Yeah, at that, one of the green stags kind of steps forward. He says, "I'm handy with a bow. That's why I was put in the army. If you don't mind, if we could." The way they're patrolling, it seems as though they are watching opposite ends. So when they're at their ends, they won't be looking at each other. I think that's the best time for us to strike. Ice cream.
I know mine was
Ice cream?
earlier.
Ice cream?
My
Well,
Blown!
it's the perfect opportunity. They're going to be distracted by the ice cream, then you attack.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
The other
Trojan-
stealth guy is in the ice cream truck, and he
Exactly.
He's
the
running the
Trojan
whole
ice
thing.
cream
Yeah.
truck.
It's a diversion. That's tactics.
Yeah.
All
Go
right.
in there. They're looking for.
So I'll say, all right. So let's each stealth to the opposite side. We shoot, and then we buy an ice cream cone and we give everyone a sign.
Sure. All right.
Can I check in first with the children, and like, are there any other like main guard posts? Are there? At which buildings are they normally in? Is there like which building should we attack first?
They point out one of the loft houses, and then like a kind of bigger building there. They're like, they mostly commandeered one of those loft houses as their sort of barracks. Although they've been staying in all the houses as they feel like it. They also hang out in the storeroom a lot. That's where all the supplies are, so. I'm not sure where they are right now, though.
Just hypothetically, how mad would the citizens of the town be if that barracks just happened to burn down?
It would set our village back quite a lot. It would do a lot of harm. That's our livelihood. That's how we continue to exist.
Not the storehouse, the the loft house.
But it's also really bad.
Okay. No, I wouldn't set your crops on fire. Just the buildings.
Also not sure where they're keeping everybody right now.
That's fair. That's why I asked instead of just setting it on fire. Thank you, child.
Yeah, thank you for not just setting things on fire without
I'm learning.
Okay. You want to roll stealth, Jackie?
Yes.
I'm also gonna roll for him.
Yes, I do. Ooh, no.
How's that?
Does a 7 pass?
So you take 3 strain.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take 3 strain, and how does that happen? They're not alerted, but it's a close call.
I think I step on a rock, which makes me trip and fall on a tree branch. But the way I land, I break the tree branch, but then I make a bird sound, and because I'm a tracker and I'm in attune to nature, it sounds really correct, like an actual bird, so they just think it's a bird.
So you see him look over at you, and he's definitely checking the area out, and he's like, huh. They got big birds around here. And he's kind of looking at that area carefully. He doesn't see you. But you can tell his interest has been piqued.
Yeah.
If you glance over, you see the other guy is just all right.
He has 0 room to judge. We saved his life.
All right. He shrugs it off. Just kind of gives you a look. You see him kind of pick his bow up, and
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Same.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Ooh, yeah.
It's arranged, so.
And remind me, because it's my
Specialty means you roll it at an advantage, basically. You roll twice and take the highest.
Cool. Great. Alright.
What'd you get?
I got a 23.
23? Okay. You gain 2 grit.
Hells yeah.
And...
And I want to go for the neck.
Alright, yeah, how do you shoot them? You guys managed to take them down between you. How do you shoot them?
Well, I shoot
guess-
him very well.
Yeah, just...
I would say that while he's really intensely looking for this huge ass bird, he kind of looks up to see if the bird's in the tree, and with that I let go and let the arrow go straight into the throat.
Alright. He gurgles, it's a pretty loud, thudding noise, and, as he falls over, you see the other guy like kind of churn, just like, hey, yeah, what's good? And then boom, he's like just hit like, just like straight in the head. He just like goes down, and they've collapsed. So the sentries are down.
Does anybody else rush out?
No.
Okay, so then I'm gonna like put my hand up and go like this, little go, to let to be like, we're good.
Okay. Arnhilder starts moving forward. She basically kind of splits people. You see, so you see her and one of the other green stag, as well as just another one of the Howling Pine who came along to help. You see the three of them move along one row, and then you see Adolphus and another Howling Pine kind of move to the other row, like let's just say like the north row of the south row, basically. And you see her kind of like get to the window and just kind of like start like kind of glancing at it to try and like get the lay of the situation. Yes, Bridget?
Can I be on the Adolphus team and sort of do like I'm gonna use my awareness again because that's apparently all I'm using today, and
sure.
See if like I want to keep an eye on like if it's Adolphus, the green stag, and me. I want to kind of keep an eye on the rear and like make sure no one's sneaking up on us. See what I can hear. See what I can see.
Sure. Okay, so you're on the Adolphus team. Berkild, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna be on what the Adolphus team too.
They're on
which one?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Never mind. I thought you were asking a question you weren't.
I am, but I'm gonna be on the Adolphus team. Because,
yes. I thought you were asking which one he was on, but Alright.
But no, which one did Jackie shoot?
So Jackie and the other archer are on the east and west sides, basically. So they haven't committed to either side. Jackie's on the same side as you guys, so she can join either one of the parties pretty easily. The other archer is pretty far from you guys at this point. He went around the other end. Yeah.
Well, then I want to run out and sneakily, but I want to take the body that she shot and like drag it into the woods.
Okay.
Drag it.
Yeah, let's do. See what check would that be? It's not a terribly difficult thing. Yeah, I'd say roll athletics on that because you're dragging a body. What'd you get?
5.
Okay.
Can my brother help me? Someone?
No, you managed to successfully do it. You just take.
Oh, okay.
You take 3 strain while you're doing it.
Jesus.
However that happens.
I'll fucking throw my bag out.
Oh, that
No, I'm
sucks.
just kidding.
It sucks.
All right.
I probably tripped because I can't really see anything. I don't know why I did this.
You tripped,
but I did it.
Yourself. Okay. Yeah, you've moved that body. The archer on the other side like sees what you're doing and he's like, oh, yeah. And you see him like kind of move his as well.
Go move that body. Go move
I know.
that body.
All right. Brunhilde, you rolled awareness. Yeah?
20 for awareness. Yes.
And what were you doing? You were looking.
I was making sure no one was like sneaking up. I was making sure no one was, coming around the corner back from the pub.
No one's sneaking up on you.
Okay.
Also, you gain. Yeah, you gain 2 grit.
Hell yeah.
There's nobody coming.
I got so much grit right now. I gotta start using some of it.
All right, Vasilisa, what would you like to do?
First, I'd like to unmute myself. I think I would like to start looking, like I want to go into the square and start looking for other people. Whether that, I specifically would like to look for allies. Like where they're being kept.
There's nobody else out in the open. You've got these two groups that are basically moving and looking through, like checking the windows to see what's going on inside. There's nobody else out in the open.
Yeah. No, that's what I meant. I want to look through, like I want to help look through windows, and as soon as I find allies, if they're alone for whatever reason, I want to let them go.
Is there any particular group, or?
No. I guess whichever, because, I mean, I'm probably assuming that they're all still together. But if there's children, let me specify. I'm a liar. If there are more children, I want to get them out first.
I mean, are you moving with any particular group of your people?
No. I would say I'm moving by myself.
Okay.
But making sure that I'm still in sight of a group.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll. That would probably be... That'd be awareness. Well, either awareness or stealth.
I got a 20. I used awareness.
Okay. You kind of head to the other end of, so Arnhilder and the Green Stag are kind of moving like this on their side. Adolphus is, like, moving right there, so you'll start at this end and start moving in. You look through that first house, over there. It's pretty hard to see through because there's not, like, really any light on. It looks like an empty building for all intents and purposes. There is a staircase going up, but you don't see anybody on the bottom floor from what you can see.
Okay.
Anybody else would like to do anything? Yes, Brickhill?
I'd like to join the group again.
Okay.
I'll kind of reach out and grab her and keep her with me.
Okay.
Because you're joining the Adolphus group, right?
Yeah. Like, once I find y'all, I'm good. It's just, like, everyone looks like little shadows.
That's alright, yeah. Like, it's just like, this is me. Stick close.
Okay.
So I do.
Okay. Would anybody like to take any actions?
I'm just waiting for a bad guy to come out of a doorway.
Alright.
Wait.
I would like to use awareness
Okay.
to look around to see if there's a place with, like, a light on. Or, like, a window that is lit.
Okay, go ahead and roll awareness.
Oh, no. Let's see what that is. Yeah. Okay, so, 7. Apparently I'm blind, so that makes sense, but I thought that'd be the one thing I could see was light.
You take one strain.
When do I get to use how can I use the grid? Do I have to do that before or after?
Whenever you roll, you can spend a grid. I'd say you can do it now if you'd like.
Great, I'd like to do that because I'd like to not be at that. So.
Okay. You do, as you come up to one of the windows, you do notice this first house that you're at. You do see like a faint flickering through one of the windows. Adolphus has been like looking in like one of the windows. You go to the other one and you see like a light flickering through it. It's very faint.
I hit him.
He's been hit.
Like this, like a.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he comes and looks through, and he's like, "Oh yeah, look at that." The rest of you who are in that group kind of like you crowd around and look in, and there's a guy. He's just like full out like on on a bed there, like it's completely sprawled, not incredibly clothed, like mouth like wide open. Yeah, like seems like he's a heavy sleeper. Yeah. Yes.
Can I look around for any signs of, oak-based insignia?
He's just in his underclothes, so it's really hard to tell. You do see an axe like leaning against the wall by his bed, and like kind of just like a crumple of clothes like on the ground by the bed.
No shields or anything?
You see a shield, but it's not turned towards you to where you can actually like see an insignia or anything. Would anyone like to do anything?
I guess move to the next house to see if there's children in that one.
Okay.
Oh,
roll
wait.
awareness.
I want
Yes, what?
to also know the clothes on the ground. Did I look at the clothes the other people were wearing?
It's pretty hard to tell in this light. It seems to be fairly dark clothes, but you can't really make out. You've also never seen fallen oak before.
People we just shot with an arrow.
Oh, when you shot with an arrow. Yeah, true. Didn't think about that. It's a little hard to tell in this light, but you do see kind of a they have like a bit of fur like on the shoulders of their thing, and you do see a little bit of fur. They're generally kind of like a dark brown clothes with a little bit of fur here and there. So it does look.
I tell
somewhat
Adolphus to look for that.
similar. Adolphus looks at it. It's like,
I
yeah.
can't see that, so.
He's like, yeah, that definitely seems like one of our targets. Especially considering how free he seems to be right now. It definitely does not look like one of the people being taken hostage. I'd wager that's a fallen oak. Across the way, you do see Arnhilder opening a door on the loft house that she was checking out. So you're just kind of like gently opening it and like slipping inside. What would you like to do?
I kind of want to like turn to the rest of my group. So, do we kill this one, or do we follow the Jarl? Are you sure this guy is one of the guys we're supposed to kill? I just don't.
Adolphus looks at you and he says, "The villagers were taken prisoner. That's what." Yeah, he like. I guess, yeah. Like, she would still be there. Holma just says, like,
The child
yes,
is with
that's
us.
not. Yeah, she's watching. Yeah, Holma perks up. She's like, yeah, that's not one of us. And then Adolphus is like, hey, why are you go back to the woods?
What are you doing? You're a child. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But thank you.
She's 14.
She's 14. But still, yeah.
But still.
He's like, I think the faster it's all taken care of, the better.
Great.
I do it.
Let's bury an axe in this motherfucker's
You're-
skull.
How are you gonna do it?
I am going to. How close is there a window to a door?
The door is like a couple feet away from the window.
Are they like on the same wall?
No, he's on the other end from this window. Is where the bed is, but it's like 6 feet maybe from the window to the bed.
So I'm gonna go try the door, like carefully.
Okay. Let's do. What role would that be? Well, either dexterity or stealth, most likely. Yeah. So you're trying to manipulate the door
Dexterity.
quietly. I'd say dexterity. Yeah, because you're trying to like, you're moving the door. So.
17.
17?
Hells yeah.
Okay, you gain 2 grit, and yeah, that's like 3 successes on that. So how does this? How are you approaching him here?
So what I'll do is I'll open the door wide enough, and then I'm gonna crawl with my long blade, and then just stab him in the heart.
Okay.
That's my goal.
All right. How would you like to? Are you trying to do this quietly, or? Oh, I guess you're crawling.
Crawl. But once I'm there, I just like go melee hard.
Okay, go ahead and roll a melee. I can't imagine.
I really hope
this.
he's a 22.
22. Yeah, he's
Just stab a
done.
sleeping guy.
That's yeah.
I realized that my character is supposed to act impulsively, so that's her acting impulsively.
Yeah, that's
I'll do it.
that's a lot of successes. That's 2 more grit.
I don't have any more grit.
You have no more grit to gain.
No more grit to gain.
Well, you better start using it.
Can I use it now to lower my strain?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
4 grit.
Cool. So that's
Strain.
done.
Can I, when I see her do this, I kind of want to, you said there's a staircase, right? Right in this one, or no?
There's
That
not
was
a
the other
staircase
building?
in this one.
There's not a staircase in this
There's
one.
one on the other end. Yeah. This one just seemed like a small, like, 1 or 2 person
House.
house. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Then never mind. I want to move on to the next house and peer in a window and see
okay. Go ahead and roll awareness.
who's there to murder. So that is a 15.
15. Okay. You get a glance through. There's no lights on in here, but lights on. There's no like candles, I guess. But whereas the other guy had like a candle by his bedside. I don't know if I ever specified that, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. There's no lights on, but when you look in there, you see a guy who's still got like armor and a sword at his side, and he's just kind of leaned against the wall, like dozing off, next to another door.
Over the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna, sort of hand signal. I'm doing this one, and then I want to try to pull the same trick that Berghild played with the whole opening the door real quiet and slipping in.
Okay. As you signal them, you also see Arnhilder and the other green stag, or ex-green stag, I guess. I should name them at some point. You see them kind of come out of that house, just sort of like wiping their blades, and moving on to the next one, as this happens. Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth or dexterity. Yeah, I'd say it could be either stealth or dexterity. It's the same for you, so.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
And I do want to use some grit. Can I use 2 of my grit points, or do I just use 1
to lower the DL? It's 2 to lower your difficulty level, 1 to reduce strain.
Yeah, I want to lower the difficulty level.
Okay.
Great. Now I have 3 grit. All right. Glad I did that, cause it's a 7.
Okay, you gain 1 grit back, and you get the door open, and you got this guy. You can hear him like kind of lightly snoring and like grumbling to himself as as the door opens. There's like a tiny creak. He does not seem to. It does not seem to register with him.
Okay, great.
You also do hear a little bit of noise coming from the other end of the door, which might help mask it.
Can I does it sound like a lot of guys, or does it sound like two guys having a loud conversation?
It just sounds like the creaking of like floorboards every now and then. And,
so people walking around.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a window in this room that I can see my teammates out of?
There's the window you look through, yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry, I mean, like, when it's like, so I can see my teammates outside, yeah?
They've moved over to this building.
To this one, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna, sort of give them a wave, see if they see me. Hey, more guys, but then I want to sneak up to the guy and just do the hand axe to the throat thing. Quick and dirty, quick and easy.
Okay, go ahead and do a melee.
Okay. Okay. Alright, so that is a 10.
You take 1 strain, but you do succeed.
Oh, good. Okay.
So how do you end up taking this strain?
I think when I do the, like, slurp, I can't get my axe out. I think it's stuck inside his thing, and I'm listening to the footsteps on the other side of the door, and I can't get my fucking axe out of this guy's neck, and sort of give it a, like...
You hear a lot of the commotion on the other side, like, stop.
I freeze.
You're hearing nothing.
I'm gonna put my back, like, if the guy's here and this is the door, I want to put my back against this wall, kind of waiting for the door to open, and just get ready in case someone comes through that door.
Okay. In the meantime, is anybody else doing anything?
I just want to keep searching houses for...
Okay. You are... Yeah, so you're now at, like, this big building that doesn't really have any windows on the outside. There's just two large doors on the front. And it's the only other building on this side that hasn't been looked at yet.
I'd like to put my ear against one of the doors and see if I can hear anything.
Go ahead and do an awareness.
That's a natural 20, so 24.
You hear some light conversation on the other side. You can't quite make out the words. You hear every now and then like a little bit of laughter. Sounds like there's some people talking on the other side.
Can I... Oh, it's not my turn anymore, is it? I have to wait, right?
Berkhild hasn't gone for a bit. If there's anything you'd like to be doing.
I just wanted to tuck the man in, so if anyone walked by, it looked like he was sleeping in a bed, not bloody.
Aww.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
And then I go out and try and find the party, because they've moved.
Okay. Yeah. Adorable.
Yeah.
That's kind of smart, though.
Okay.
Very smart. Smarter than what I did.
Let's see.
Hush, little
Got it.
oak, don't say a
Okay.
You're just really dead, so it's better.
All right, Vasilisa. Anything you'd like to do?
Am I able to see the Jarl from where I'm standing?
Yes, she's gone inside the second house on that side, and the Green Stag Archer is looking through Actually, no, that's the only other house there. He's still looking at, like, the house he was on. So every house has basically been looked at now.
Okay, so then I want to like flag her down, be like, when you're done, come here.
She's inside that building.
Oh.
Yeah, she's gone inside that second building.
Okay. Then I guess I want to open the door very like minute to see if the people inside are. I mean, it's laughter, so I would assume enemies, but you never know. Sometimes.
Go ahead and do a dexterity or a stealth.
Okay. Luckily, they're the same number, so it doesn't even matter. 15.
You take one strain, but you do get the door. You do get the door open. Yeah. Without it making a terrible amount of noise.
Okay. I need to stop taking strain. I know. Does it look like it's the fallen oak, or does it look like it's from what I can, or can I not tell?
You can't see much with the door open this minutely. You hear the voices coming through more clearly, and it sounds like it sounds you hear somebody griping. They're basically just like, why did we get sent to this? Why did we get sent to this shithole instead of getting in on the real action? Like, don't get me wrong, it's nice, it's easy, but they gotta have way better stuff up in, there's gotta be way better stuff up in the port. And the guy's just like, believe me, no, this is the life you want. If you're up in Skopta right now, why, you think a siege? You think a siege sounds fun? But you've never been a part of one, then. Yeah. That's the general thing going on. It's just like, it just feels like random conversation. Not random, but yeah.
I'm
Casual
gonna
conversation.
stay there for now and stay
Directions.
super duper alert, and maybe have my bow and arrow ready.
Okay. Brunhilde and Bergild, is there anything you would like to do?
Can I kind of tell? Is there any way for me to tell, like, how many sorts of footsteps I hear shuffling around? Does it sound like two guys or one guy?
There's nothing. There's no movement right now. There's no sound.
No sound right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of just want to I just want to wait and be ready to investigate. For whoever goes to investigate, I will. The second someone opens the door, I'm going to clobber him.
Okay.
I hope it's not me.
Bergild, is there anything you'd like to do?
Which is the closest from where I am? Next house?
At this point, all the houses have been looked at.
I'm aware. I said, what's the closest?
The closest? I mean, the one where you killed the guy was on the corner, basically.
And
Brunhilde went one over on your side of the street. Arnhilde went into the one directly across the street from you. There's not really a street. Across the way, I guess. Yeah. As far as close houses go, that's the situation. You've got Brunhilde inside the one next to you. You've got Vasilisa at the big building next to that. And you've got Arnhilde coming out of the house in the middle of the other side. And the archer who was looking at the opposite corner from you is just kind of like shrugging and like walking over.
I'm sorry. Hold, please. Did you just call them B. Archer?
B. Archer is very good.
It
First
was
off,
like...
I wish I had thought of B. Archer.
No,
that's like...
That's it.
I
That's
thought
his
you
name.
did. I was like, kudos. But kudos to me.
Yeah.
So, can I use my hearing which I really wish I had given myself better awareness, to see where I hear the most commotion and where I would head to.
I'd say you don't even have to roll for that. Arnhilder, they're all kind of coming over towards your side now. It feels like that side has been kind of wrapped up. They've investigated all the houses there, and are coming back over towards you guys.
So then I will probably join them, if that's where I hear, like, the most, like, running and excitement.
Yeah.
Wiping my blood with pride. Or wiping my blade with pride.
So they're kind of coming over. Yeah, the only person the only person you don't see right now is Brunhilde has not come out of the house next to you.
I wouldn't know that yet.
Yes.
But yes.
But Brunhilde's the only person you don't see.
So, rub it in.
Nice. Yeah. Would anybody like to do anything?
I'm just waiting.
Okay.
I'm done with waiting. I want to knock on the door. I want to give it a bop bop.
Do I see Vasilisa?
Yes.
I see her in the house, or is she kind of out? I'm confused.
She's not in.
I'm outside.
Where are we heading to?
Right now, your group is outside of the house that Brunhilde went into and is kind of just like standing there waiting for her. Vasilisa is outside the building next to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Now I'm clear.
Yeah. Arnhilder and B. Archer has come over to join you guys now.
I'm writing that in my character list.
Yeah. Yeah, Arnhilder... Oh, so you knocked on the door, Brunhilde. There's a couple seconds of silence, and they just hear, like, what do you want?
I'm just gonna ominously knock again.
What? Is this some sort of prank? I don't understand.
Knock, knock. Like, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
It's psychological warfare.
Exactly.
I don't... What? What do you want?
I don't have an answer. Knock, knock. I don't know. I can't be like, to kill you.
You hear a couple other hushed voices on the other end of the door, but you don't... Nothing that you can make out.
There seems to be a little bit of a problem out here. Trying to sound like the guard that I just murdered?
Well, no shit, you started it. If you don't mind, some of us are trying to sleep.
Fair enough. And I'm just gonna try to get over to the window and be like, guys, there's a bunch of guys in here. Guys, there's a bunch of guys in here. In here.
Okay. Adolphus goes in. What do you...
There's multiple guys in there. I can't kill multiple guys at once. I'm one small Viking. Okay, so do we throw open the door and storm them? They know we're here or something.
What?
I'm not good at this, Adolphus. I'm not good at this.
If they know you're here, why...
They might think that I'm possibly the guard. I don't know.
Goes over to the door, puts his hand on the knob, jiggles it. It's locked. He starts looking at the guard you killed.
Oh no.
Wrong one.
He finds a set of keys.
Oh, phew. I thought you were gonna be like, he finds on his breastplate a white hawk.
He knocks on it. He says through the door. He says, "Are you Hollow Oak? Or Fallen Oak?" And just from the other side, you hear back, "Of course we're not Fallen Oak. Christ, I don't understand the jokes. I don't understand this game, but I'm a little tired of playing, if you don't mind." That he just kind of like gives you a look, and like unlocks the door and opens it, and it's just like a room with just like a bunch of, it's like a windowless like room with just like a bunch of people packed into it.
Hey, I found the prisoners!
Yes, you found the prisoners.
Yay!
You almost killed them!
I really did! And if any of those guys came out of there, they would have died. Oh, great. You guys are the prisoners. Perfect. Hi.
Hello?
We're Howling Pines.
What
I know
is
that doesn't mean much. I know.
Just some
we're
kind of
we're,
you're
we're
just
new.
friends with the other tree clan? Is that the...
No.
just all trees?
We're not into the oaks. They really
he
really
looks at
fucked
the door,
us over.
sees the guard on the ground, he's like, "Oh.
Yeah, we're really not into the oaks."
Well, thank you. Are they all done?"
I think so. We're clearing the town as we speak. You guys want to come out and help?
Kind of like looks back at all the sickly, starving people with no equipment in the room.
All right, actually, second thought, you guys stay in here. I'm gonna lock it. We're gonna lock you back up.
Adolphus just kind of like pushes you away.
I know. I'm sorry.
We'll be back in a few minutes.
I'm not a battle scald. I'm just a regular scald.
Just sit tight. Yes, Bergild.
So I hear this happening.
Yes.
I'm gonna look,
Yes.
hopefully see a figure, and then be like, and by a figure I mean of Vasilisa, and be
Yes.
like,
Okay, Vasilisa, you see that.
Can I use intellect to see if I know what that means?
You can certainly try.
Cool.
It's either that or performance from... Is performance a thing?
probably.
I mean, I got a 17 for intellect, so
Alright, we'll go with
No,
that.
it's not.
There's
We'll go
charm
with
as
that.
a quality.
Alright, you get it. She looks really happy, and she's pointing at that house.
so then so then I'm gonna, with my bow and arrow still drawn, be like, oh, she's blind, fuck!
I can see things. I would see that. I would see you going like this. I don't know what it would mean per se, but I'd see your head moving.
She's just shooting a cool
I'd
TikTok.
be like,
Do I have to use intellect now?
Yes. We've established
That's
that.
so unfortunate.
we've
I
est-
am not intellectual.
We've established that that precedent now, so we have to do it.
sorry.
Can I use grit?
Yes, you can use grit.
I'm gonna use 2 to lower the level.
You got it.
How is a 9?
You're okay. You pass.
Oh,
It's
God.
not a terribly difficult thing to understand.
I'm not. I'm blind. I didn't know if you were increasing it for that. I got scared.
It's...
I go.
Arnhilder also sees that monstrosity and heads over.
I hit her on accident while doing it.
And just very... So Vasilisa, she joins you by the door. She's like... We're using hands, we don't have to talk.
They're over by my door.
No,
I'm
they're-
at the giant house.
Giant house. Sorry.
I'm not sure how many there are, but I know there are people.
Okay.
If we, how many? How many?
She waves to the archer.
Who?
I know we've killed 2, so at minimum there's 9, unless you guys have killed more, because they said there were 11. I'm really good at math, apparently.
Just in her head, she's just like, and yes, she motions to the other archer. Or you wanted to say something, Bergild, or do something?
I was doing math because I don't know how many. I know we killed 4, but I was trying to figure out how many they had killed.
Yeah.
Way more.
So I was like doing the math in my head. Sorry.
Yeah, they've done a couple on their own. Yeah, you get to. The other archer comes over. He's kind of like stands by the door as well, and Arnhilder just like counts down, just like, and then just boom, like knocks both of the doors open, and you see
Boom.
yeah, you see 2 guys standing there. Well, one is like sitting like on like a couple crates, just kind of like looking, and he's like just got like a shank of meat that he's eating. The other one's just kind of like. The other one's kind of like walking around, like looking at stuff, picking through some things, and then like the door kicks open, and they both just like, whip to the door, and
I want
you guys
to
fire?
shoot the guy. I want to shoot the guy with the meat.
Nice. Go ahead
Thank
and
you.
go ahead and roll it ranged.
28.
28. Okay. You get 2 grit, and that guy he's dead.
I want to shoot it through the piece of meat into his mouth, like through his mouth.
Ooh!
So he just dies with a bunch of meat in his mouth, and just an arrow. Like,
Yeah.
all right, you hit it. And he just falls backwards off the crates, and
I'm sorry. How many grit did you say?
2. You get 2 grit.
He died with meat in his mouth.
He died
He
doing
died
what
the way he lived.
Yeah. Stealing someone else's food.
That's not
With
right.
meat.
Yeah.
Where's the meat?
Yeah. And meanwhile, the other guy goes down as well. The other archer hit him pretty good. And they're both just down.
That's a weapon.
Arnhilder,
Is there a third guy?
Arnhilder, really quickly. No, there's just 2.
Okay.
Arnhilder, really quickly, just does 2 there. The two sentries. There were 2 in that house, 3 in that house. Did you get them?
Oh, I killed one.
You got one?
Yeah, I killed the
You
sleeping.
got one? This should be 11. This should be enough.
Are there stairs in the house? In this big house?
This is like a huge like storage shed. It is not
Aw.
multi-floor. There's a
Got
There's
it.
like a loft in the back with like a ladder up to it, but it's not like very big. You can see it's just like this is where they're storing a bunch of stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, Arnhilder heads back around to, or Adolphus like kind of checks in. He's like, "We're good." Arnhilder like gives him the okay. He goes and lets the people out, and they let out. And they kind of like, I mean, they have to walk past like that corpse, and they see, yeah. And as they come back,
Me
it's
pretty covered in blood,
it's,
like, hi.
It's about there's about 15, 16 people that have been like crammed into this into what was a storage room, it looked like. They come out and kind of filter their way back, go to like check on their individual like dwellings and everything. One goes to check like the supply shed and see how everything is. There's maybe like there's maybe 13 adults and like a handful more kids that were in there with them. Not terribly young, but yeah. One comes up to you. He's very lithe, like muscular man, like a lot of lean muscle. You can see like the tendons like coming out basically. He comes forward. He's not well shaven or anything. He says, "Thank you for letting us out. It's been a rough couple days, but at least it appears nobody was hurt. We'll need to get some of these people fed, but we are in your debt."
Why were they keeping you in there?
We think they're asking a lot of questions about Skapta. I think it was more about stopping us from going and getting help than anything. From the sounds of it, they were making moves on Skapta and putting it under siege. If that's the case, Skapta is fairly well fortified, but it is still a new settlement. It's still fairly small. They don't have much in the way of a military force. I'm not sure how many men the Fallen Oak have brought, but if they haven't heard word back, then Skapta's at least survived a couple days. Well, thank you. It's bloody. And Arnhilder steps forward. She says, "Skapta, that is the port, a few miles that way." Says, yes, that's the case. It's where we are one of their outposts, basically. We out here, we trap, we hunt, we bring supplies back. That's basically it. Things were going very well. The White Hawks were a growing clan. It looks like the Fallen Oak aren't too happy about that. She says, we'll need to talk more about it overnight, or tomorrow. But if there's a way we can assist, we would like to. We are the Howling Pine, as I believe you've been told. We would very much like to see the Fallen Oak not succeed in their conquest. Especially if it's going to harm somebody who I presume is as innocent and kind as you seem. He kind of nods graciously. He says, "Thank you. I'm Rolfer. I am the head of this little settlement, but nobody particularly special. We need to rest up, but I do fear for Skapta. I feel I will be leaving in the morning. If you would like to join me, that is up to you." Does anybody have anything they would like to do or say? Okay. That Arnhilder, she says, "Some of your children, Strom and Holma, they helped us. They found us and they brought us here. The other children, they are back at our camp. We can go and get them and bring them back." Rofer says he'd appreciate that, and they kind of go about getting these bodies out of their houses and assessing damage as you guys start to head back to fill everybody in on what happened. And that is where we will end this session.
Now that I myself the tumult of the seas, hold me in the thoughts of my